Hi, my name is Dennis Rodgers. I'm a research professor in anthropology and sociology at the Graduate Institute of International and Development Studies in Geneva, Switzerland. And I'm part of the scientific advisory board of the Transgang project. I'm an anthropologist, like many people working on the Transgang project, and I work on gangs, surprisingly. Most of my work on gangs has been in Nicaragua, where I've been working for the past 20 years. Well, working for a long period of time, you see different types of street groups emerge. So when I first arrived in Nicaragua, you had very classic pandillas, street corner gangs, who had very much a vigilante ethos of protecting the neighborhood. Then, over time, they became drug dealing gangs, and they began to kind of be more predatory of the local community. Then drug dealing professionalized, and a kind of drug trafficking organization came to dominate the gangs. And then the drug trafficking organization itself fell, and then you have a return to kind of street corner gangs. And most interestingly, most recently, you've had the rise of girl gangs, partly due to police repression of male street corner gangs. Once again, it depends a lot on the period of time that you're looking at. In the 90s, for example, the groups were very kind of democratic inside, and any conflicts were tended to be settled through discussion, although you often had individual conflicts. These were kind of often called traídos in Nicaraguan Spanish, kind of vendettas, and they were generally settled violently through kind of fistfights. At the time, the conflict that the gang had was more with other gangs whom they engaged with in order to protect the neighborhood. Through the 90s, for example, conflicts, when the gang became involved in drug trading, conflicts changed, and so the logic of conflicts became less about individuals and more about kind of turf, or where, fighting over the good street corner to sell drugs. And there, they never really fought. It was very much more kind of a majority of the gang saying to somebody, you have to kind of leave. But, and that was partly not to scare off customers, of course. At the same time, they began to be very predatory and violent against the local community, it was partly in order to terrorize them, to make sure that nobody would denounce them.